Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael and Lee. Join us with topics that wake up the connection to your soul. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com. Welcome, friends around the world. Today we are recording another episode of Lighten Up Talk Radio. It's June 1st. We are kicking off a new month, and I have just been starting to feel the full moon energy, which kicks in on June the 4th. So we've got another cycle of completion coming all the way around. You been feeling it today, Lee?
I certainly have. I've been feeling it throughout the week, but today has been very strong.
Yeah, for me, I start feeling the full moon energy 3 days before, and it really lasts for me about 3 days after that little window of cycle of completion and releasement and all that stuff, and all the little things sifting to the surface in my life that are ready for me to take a look at for their final intention to release at this phase. And sometimes it takes a couple of cycles or many cycles to get to this point, but I've been at a big one today. I mean, I know you and I talked a lot about it. So you picked a card here. What did you pick?
I certainly did, and it's about the heart chakra, and I'm going to let you read it.
Okay, the card that Lee picked today is from the Daily Guidance from Your Angels card by Doreen Virtue, and it says, "Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being, attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart as we stand by with perfection or protection and guidance." Oh, it says with perfect protection. So I was reading both of those words together. Wow, that's beautiful. And you know what's really neat is I picked the heart chakra card this morning from a totally different deck. So this is big heart energy day, isn't it?
Today is heart energy day.
Do you all have anything on your hearts? Take a minute as we go through the show and even beyond to tune into your own hearts and see what is there. Some message for you that's been coming up, some issue in your life, some challenge, whatever it is. Today, I think we're going to be focusing on the heart with all this energy around the heart. What do you say?
I say that's a good thing to focus on.
You think I picked the card this morning and you just picked the heart chakra card again? That sounds like
that's
a great...
exactly right. I suppose that is the what we need to be talking about today would be that.
Well, you know what? I'm going to kick it off because I really feel now that I'm at this place in my life of making a real conscious effort to change this pattern, particularly in my life, of dimming my light for others. It has been a pattern that goes back from as far as I can remember, where I would be in the presence of other people and being an empathic person, very highly sensitive, the moment that I would pick up any type of other energies where they were at, or sadness or anything like that, I would immediately have dimmed my light to kind of come down to the vibration level where they were at. And oftentimes I've wanted to say things that were at a very different vibration level to where they were at. Oftentimes to help lift them up, but instead, for some reason, that something within my heart, I believe, because this has been the message this morning. I had some dreams. I woke up with very intense dreams that were talking to me about all of these things, about my life purpose and time to step into this and no longer dim my light. And so I'm honoring this cycle with the full moon this month. Lee and I, before we got on the show, I was talking to her about this energy that I'm just really ready to let it go and step into my full light. And it's okay for me, and it's okay for you all out there, because I found this to be a pretty common problem with empaths. Where you pick up other people's energy around you, and instead of standing in your own light and divine grace, and even maybe you're given a message to help that person, and you choose at that moment to take the lower vibration route, the one that actually doesn't help either party. It ends up, and for me, whenever I get a message for somebody and I don't speak it, I end up taking on the energy of it, and it becomes heavy. And I've really learned this in my life, that has been one of the most intense disservices to myself and other people, because I end up taking on this energy that was not for me. I was just to be used as a conduit to share it, and it gets backed up in my body. Being an empath and a highly, highly sensitive person, my body ends up just having to deal with it. And so I'm ready, Lee. I'm ready in this energy. This weekend, I'm going to work every day with this, every moment of every day, and switch it when I feel this choice coming in, where I can go the low road of, lowering my vibration to match somebody else, or when I'm going to choose the high one, where I stay with me. And if something is coming through me to be spoken, even if it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, I'm going to go with it. Just let it roll. So that's where I'm at today with this. So if you all are going through some of this stuff, let's do it together. Let's put this intention out together on this show to stand in our light, stand in our truths, and just let it flow. Whatever is on your heart. I know we've talked about this. Lee talks about this a lot. I'm sure she'll talk about it in a minute. That if something comes to you to speak, it's there for a reason. So let it roll. Let it flow through you. It will help others. It will help you. And even some of these strong messages that may be really stepping out of the box. I have just learned, I had an experience earlier today where I said something, and it was rather intense for me to say it, but I let it roll, and it came back around as a blessing. Whereas in the moment of it, I was not feeling of it as a blessing. And I've had a couple of these this week, and it's like the universe reminding me, just let it roll. It's not about trying to hurt somebody's feelings or any of that kind of stuff. It's because it's coming to me for a reason, and it's coming to you for a reason. And we're in the energy right now of helping one another move forward in life. Move forward. Keep it moving. Don't stop. The angels have been giving me a lot of confirming messages this week about to continue to move forward in your life. Even if it's difficult, face your fears and move forward. So I am sharing that message with you because it has been a daily reminder to do that. So, Lee, have any thoughts?
I have quite a few thoughts about that. I kind of went through the same phase that Michael's been going through, and it's been, I would put a time frame on it of about 8 years ago. And I just had some pretty traumatic things that happened in a couple of readings that I was doing. And I'll never forget one that was up in Knoxville. And I was getting all these messages, which I at that point in time, I think a lot of times I was more into my head instead of listening. And I had a very intense session with the lady, and it just really threw me back. When I left 2 hours later from the home, I had felt a huge breakthrough with her. But what had happened was I had picked up the energy of that. Mm-hmm. And really did not know what to do with it. And in that period of time, I was not as put together as I am now, because I was just really starting out with dealing with outside people versus just dealing with me. And I was so open to what was going on in her life, it just flowed right into me. And I started driving home, which was, I don't know, about a 40-minute drive from me. And I had another assistant with me. And I just had to pull over, and I said, you need to drive, because I was feeling very strange. And so she drove, and I just reclined the seat back, and I just went totally asleep. By the time I reached my home, I could hardly even get out of the car. I was so weak. And I had to call inside to my husband to be able to come out and just help me walk up the sidewalk to go in the front of the house and up the steps into the bedroom. I was exhausted. And I really didn't know at that time what was going on with me. But I knew that it was not right. I sit down in a recliner that was in my room that I meditated in every morning. And I just lay there. I couldn't even move. Every bone in my body was aching. My head was totally just clouded up. My thinking pattern was just terrible. And he looked at me and he said, you're very pale looking. Well, I laid in the recliner all night because I didn't even want to get, it bothered me to even get up out of the chair to even try to get into the bed. So I just laid there. And what I really found out, which was a couple of days later after I actually was smart enough at the time to ask the divine, what is going on with me? Because here I was just trying to figure out all this stuff on my own. And figuring out what's happened between when I left here and I felt wonderful. When I came back here, I felt just really not well at all. And after I got smart enough to say what's wrong with me, after I got that ill to be able to open up my mouth and say what's wrong with me, it actually came to me. You've picked up this person's energy. Because this individual was very heartbroken. She had a loss, recently. And so I was, doing some life coaching type things with her, and I had just totally picked up the energy of all of that loss. And what it did, not only did it affect, I'm sure, my heart, but it really started affecting all of the bones in my body. It's like it had gone all over me. It hurt me to move my leg, my arm, my everything, and was just in total severe pain with it. And I just asked, what is going on with me? And the answer came. You took it on. You need to release it. And next time, this has been a lesson learning situation. And next time, it will be a totally different scenario of how you're going to go about protecting yourself. Because in the mornings, when I wake up, it needs to be a lot of the white light, the gold light, the purple light, the green light that goes around me. I've never forgotten that. Because after you once have an experience such as that, and you feel like you don't even have the energy to get up out of a chair, then you're going to put a lot of protection around you, and that's totally divine order to do that. And also, you learn the lessons. Sometimes it takes a while to learn that lesson. And so, anybody that's out there listening that they wonder, I come home and I'm just exhausted. You need to take a real look at your day. About what the energy was where you work, who the people have been that you've been around, what exactly the conversations that you've had. Have they been negative conversations or have they been positive conversations? Because you always have to understand that everything that comes out of your mouth, it goes to the universe. Every single word. And it can be just a... I believe that a lot of people, they throw stones at other people because they don't understand a lot that's going on in their lives. And a lot of the disgruntled situations that you might get into at work is people talking about people and this, that, and the other. I mean, I've worked in the workplace for a long time previously. And you can get yourself all into that type of energy. And then that's why when you walk in your door, you're exhausted instead of being able to talk about what a positive day that you've had. So I would just entertain the idea for each of you that ever feels like that it's a very tired moment within you and it's a constant type thing with you, that you need to be very guarded in what your thought pattern is. And also I will go along with what you said, Michael. Whenever the message comes to you that if a person is even speaking in a negative type manner, I call it a dim viewer, okay? That's my word for it, the dim viewer. I do think that it is the purpose of you to change that energy to whereas you will not take that in and you won't accept that. And also the message to that person to try to, a lot of times people don't even understand they're doing that. There's so much in a habit of doing it that they don't even recognize when they keep doing it. And it just absolutely, at times, you just need to address that with them. You know, I've noticed, and it has to always be in love and no type of prejudice against it, no type of anything but love within your heart. But I also know that at that time, you will always say the right words. It will always be to where that person will understand that you are trying to help them. And also, that also influences their families. You know, when you have children, it's a very essential thing to stay very positive. Now, after, you cannot take on the energy of your own kids or family or any of this because they have their own walk that they have to walk, just like each individual one of us have. But you can, at times, it is time to just say what's on your heart. That releases the energy from you, and it releases the energy into them that absolutely can change their life in just a second. It doesn't take long because at times if you can kind of just in a loving way put it back into their face as far as saying, okay, let's think about work in this manner. Let's think about your family situation in this manner. Let's think about, and it's always in the positive manner, not in the dim viewer manner.
Or judgmental.
Or judgmental or any of that. Then it can totally just change the whole universe as far as in these people's lives as well as it flows out into the universe to affect everyone.
Oh, yeah. I loved what you said. I've experienced that a lot as well, and I was reminded back when doing readings when I had a full-time practice doing mediumship and angel readings and all that stuff, and doing energy work. I learned a lot of lessons, and it's interesting because I had to step out of it to really anchor some of these lessons in. It's taken about a year of working on myself outside of that practice to really anchor the meaning and the awareness to what had happened over those years of in my full-time practice. Because there was often times that I would see maybe 3 clients, and then I would and I would always ask for protection, like the light and all that stuff, and worked with the angels and all that. But I didn't quite understand at the time how the flow of energy, where I was backing it up. Because I would oftentimes get a lot more messages than I would give out. And so at times, at the end of the day, I would be drained because I still had all this stuff weighing on me that I didn't just let it all flow through. I filtered it more than was necessary, but I was filtering it through my own belief system and judgments about the people. And so I have really been learning and gone through the life lessons, going through them of how to just really just let it flow. Let all the bits and pieces of it flow. If I do make a mistake and I do overstep bounds, I'll apologize if there was something like that. But I haven't run into that. I've actually not run into that, and I recently felt like I had overstepped some boundaries, And I told the person, I'm sorry if I did. And she looked at me and she said, don't you even think that way. You absolutely did not, and I appreciated what you said. So it's that sensitive kind of part of me, that heart thing we're getting to, where my intention was never to hurt anybody. It is to help, and it is just to be a divine conduit, and for me to just get out of my head and trust that that's what's happening. When I get out of my head and just let that flow, and I'm sure there are many of you out there that have experienced this or are experiencing this in some way. And two, if you work in a corporate environment or those kind of things, it is so important to let that cycle and flows of energy interactions between people to flow and continue. If you have something with someone in work or in life, if you just hold back those feelings and those messages that you're getting, you're going to just hold yourself up, stop yourself up. Find ways of allowing yourself to express it, even if it takes a little bit while to kind of go through. Because for me, it's taken some different levels of writing letters and different kinds of things, of opening up doorways in relationships that I hadn't been totally authentic in. Just do, even if it's baby steps, start opening those doorways, start expressing yourself. Because until you release the burdens, the weight, the energies around your heart that have been unexpressed, it really holds you back from deepening your sense of purpose and self-worth and all of those things. Because if our hearts are a weight of unexpressed things, we really can't be ourselves. We're acting from all of this other stuff. So I think it's so important just to get in the mode wherever you are right now of starting to express yourself on deeper and deeper levels. You can write, journal, start speaking to people, just let them know. For me, I've found that if I just tell somebody that I've been feeling this way, or this is what's been on my heart, without just blasting something, to them. It's out of love and respect and the need for me to just be totally authentic and truthful. I'll just express it and put it out there. And I've not had any... it's all been a blessing. I've not had any issues with it. It's been a total blessing, and it's always come back to like you were saying, Lee, it can just be a breakthrough for that person and another, and if for some reason, when that truth I've had to express my truth, also realize that there are some relationships that I've had to let go of along the way, and that's okay too. And well,
I think also that the type of energy that you're talking about, the breakthrough, it's on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times that if you don't speak your truth, the other person has already put a wall up there, because they understand. I mean, a lot of times they understand that you're not,
mm-hmm.
and it's very detectable, because that's the difference is in the energy of people. And even though you're breaking through, they're very happy to say to you, I'm so happy that I now see you doing that, because I have felt that you have been trying to do that for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe they didn't feel like that they wanted to go there to talk with you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it can actually open up communication between people, because I know there's probably a lot of people out there that would have liked to have said a lot of different things to different people, that they felt like that they could have opened up more of a positive view with their attitudes and such, and they choose not to do that. And so it's really an injustice for your own heart as well as theirs. And it's just been quite amazing in the journey that I've been going through in the past few years, that when you open yourself totally up, and the person knows that you're genuinely a good person and really going and putting your best foot forward to do the best thing that you feel like that you're doing for them, that is always taken out of love. A person that would get angry about that, I would speak to that person to where they need to look at their ego.
Yeah.
I mean, ego can be one of the strongest things in your life that stops you. And when you can just release the ego and recognize that all people are the same and are equal. And regardless of whether you're a college graduate or if you haven't even finished high school, whatever that is, it really makes no difference. Because people are people. And we at times try to put a lot of tags on different people about, well, did you hear how they sound? Or, you hear a lot of people from up north talk about the southern drawl, and you hear a lot of people at the southern drawl talking about the northerners. And I mean, it kind of goes back all the way across to all of even that. And if you really look at it, God put us all here the way that we're supposed to be. God put us all here for a purpose that we needed to totally go down the path to find. And it's not a path that's just what you want to find. And I speak with so many people, they say, well, I feel like this is my path because this is what I want to do. That has nothing to do with it. It still doesn't mean that it's your path because that's what you want to do. Because a lot of times what you're talking about doing is an ego again. To me, the solution to all of that is that you asked. Meditation is a great start with that, as far as going into yourself and talking to God and the angels and the ascended masters and all that's there to help us. But I do think that you have to just quiet your mind. I call it a monkey mind at times. People is like in the monkey cage, and I think I've spoke about that before in another one of these segments, but it's so true. Whenever you get so confused, please just sit in a chair and shut your eyes and just totally get into yourself of what all of this means. And then ask for guidance of how to go about handling a particular situation or what you need to say. And I will assure you that when that conversation goes out, and you have your heart has the kindness in it and the light in it, and the passion to say the right thing, it will totally flow through you to that individual, to where it will make a huge difference in both of your lives, not just one but both, because you're going to be feeling good about you helping that other person, and that other person is going to love you more because you had the courage to go out there and talk about it.
You know what, Lee? Why don't we do a little healing session for everyone with the angels?
That'd be great.
Archangel Michael was just talking with me that it's time to do a session for you all. So I'd like to ask you, as you're listening to this, to just take a minute to, if you're not in a super comfortable chair, to get in a comfortable chair or lay on the floor. And let's take a moment and just connect with your heart. Just sit with your heart and put your attention on your heart for a moment. And as you put your attention on your heart, also notice your breath. Just get in tune with your breath. Take some gentle, full inhales and exhales. And as you get relaxed, feel relaxed and tap into this connection with your heart, I want you to just feel what's going on with your heart right now. What is really going on with your heart right now? Are you feeling any burdens on your heart? Are you feeling sad, grief, anger, resentment, joy, whatever it is? Let's take notice And I'd like to ask you to just be willing to let go of any of these resentments, burdens, grief, anger, whatever is heavy on your heart. Just be willing to let that go. And Archangel Michael is with you, or an Archangel Raphael. These are two very powerful angels of healing and protection that are here with you right now to help lift away these burdens, to help you see and feel what it's like to get in this new pattern of letting those things go. Take a nice deep breath. And another. Ask Archangel Michael to go ahead and cut any cords, any connections in your life right now that are not serving you energetically, to help you be in you, help you be fully in you. This is a totally safe process. Sometimes in our day, we connect with other energies around us and end up taking them on. And so this is the time to just let them go. Family, friends, colleagues, any of those energies that you may have taken on. I know many of you, I can see there are many of you out there that are going to be listening to this that have taken on a lot of energy around your shoulders and your neck and your lower back. We ask the angels to lift this energy and help you release it right now. So take another nice deep breath with me. And just let it go. And you know you can do this at any time of your day. You can ask your angels for help with this process. You can do this process with your own intention. I love working with the angels because they help us to learn about ourselves. They help us to learn how to let go, what it feels like to connect with the energies. And it has been an amazing process working with the angels. So I thank them and thank you for listening.
That was wonderful, Michael. And I just felt like I needed to just read the angel card. And it says, "You are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and home. Always remember that." And what a wonderful feeling to always know that you can achieve whatever your purpose has been to be here. Just go within yourself and listen to the divine, and it will always be right. Much love.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.